Welcome back to restomod, my BMW M5 presented by eBay Motors. Today is the day, people. We are gonna finish this thing and take it for a drive. That's right, everybody. We are super close to getting this car onto the road. I am pumped about that. But first, we have to take care of a little bit of interior work because this interior, man, it is beat. And it's already kind of apart because I was doing some work on it. And I'll jump to the back in a second to show you the issue we have with the stereo system. But first things first, this is what the radio that was in this car, and it is malfunctioning. There is an issue with like the remote out, and it's just old and beat up. So I wanted to get something that was very budget friendly, but still had Bluetooth and a bit of a display screen. And I know some of you are gonna say this isn't period correct, it doesn't match the look of the interior, but you know what, for me, that's not a big deal. I just wanna be able to connect my phone to it, answer a phone call when I need to, and this unit certainly does that. And of course, this was purchased on eBay. So if you're looking for something like this, certainly jump onto eBay where you can find a host of audio products available. So this car, when I originally purchased it, had no sound at all in the car. And I thought, oh yeah, it was just the deck. Turns out it is more than the deck. Someone has completely rewired this car for an amplifier and cut all the factory stereo speaker wires and run them to here for an amp. I have plugged in all the wiring and we still don't have an amplifier, or the amp's not turning on. And like I said, that's just a byproduct of that receiver. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start troubleshooting some of this stuff and install that new head unit. And while I do that, Dave's gonna be doing something else.
And by that something else, what I really wanna be doing right now is working on that white car back there, but not yet, everyone. Instead, I'm gonna try to resuscitate this old paint a little bit. It's not even a Mako paint job, is it, Pete? This feels to me like maybe it was done in somebody's home garage or at some like really cheap, dirty body shop. It was resprayed very poorly. It wasn't, like the windows weren't out, so it was taped off and it was taped off poorly. There's just a lot of issues with the paint. I know it looks pretty good on camera. Silver hides all the flaws, so to you guys, you might be thinking, what are you talking about, Dave? This car looks great. And we're grateful for that because it does look better on video than it does in person. Regardless, I'm gonna clean it up, starting with a wash, then I'm gonna cut and polish the paint. I'm just gonna make a one-stage pass on it to at least give it a bit of gloss. And Pete, of course, will struggle away with the wiring. So without further ado, let's get to work. Well, that was a couple hours of work, and the paint probably looks exactly the same as it did before to you, but it is much smoother now. And
a little more pop.
It's got a little more gloss, a little more pop, it's true. Silver cars look shiny when you clean them up anyway, but unfortunately, there's no fixing what's wrong with this paint. It's just still got a lot of, it's just a bad paint job, isn't it, Pete? There's
orange peel,
yeah, like
poor
prep,
there, yeah.
poor body work underneath the paint. So there's nothing we could do with a polisher to correct that. So really this car needs a full respray at some point if Pete wants to make it perfect, or enjoy it as a shiny beater. And frankly, I think that's kind of the way to think about this car. Is it's a 10-footer. It looks really good from back here. It makes a statement. It's going to drive really nicely. It's mechanically sound. It's just when you get up close, there's going to be these imperfections that you have to live with because you bought a $10,000 M5 and that's what you get for your money. So anyway, the Sonex products all worked great, and that polymer net shield is a quick and easy ceramic coating. Lasts about 6 months, so it'll help keep the beater clean in the driveway underneath that tree that sheds a million little helicopters down into all the grooves on this car.
So the new deck is in, and honestly, I'm really, really happy with it. It kind of has like an old vintage vibe with like this area over here with the buttons and everything. It looks cheesy in a good way, and we do have sound, so you can see, which means that everything is working. I wired up the amp properly, so I'm really happy that that turned out to be an easy job. What is not gonna be easy is fixing a lot of the interior. This car has just been hacked. You can see someone overlaid this leather here, and at first I was like, why? And then, like, why would someone put a screw into here? A sheet metal screw, like look at this. But what is even weirder is a lot of this has been trimmed. Like look at this area. Someone's cut this out. So even if I took this off, you can see, look at down here, this has been trimmed. Some of this area has been trimmed. Like up here, if you peel all of this, look, it's almost like someone took this material and tried to rewrap it maybe. Like look at, it's lifting here.
Yeah.
But this does, look, it matches.
It's an okay
It
match,
matches
you're right.
there, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, what I did is I actually picked up this plastic piece that I was gonna use, but you can see the color is really, really off. So what I may do is just plasti dip this. And I know, guys, trust me, this is out of the realm for me with a lot of this, but this interior is so thrashed that like I'm just trying to salvage it. If I do a bit of like a matte plasti dip on this, and the only reason I'm gonna use plasti dip is because then I can peel it if I don't like it. It might look okay in here as like a black unit, where right now this just looks really off. So, and I also have a replacement for this steering wheel, because we all know BMW, when they went to the airbag, like this thing is a gigantor, and I do have something better in store. And here you have it, what I think is arguably the best steering wheel for any E34. This is an MTech 2 steering wheel. This one is all original, and you can get these on eBay. They're not cheap though. They are anywhere from like $500 all the way up to $1,000. The one thing I did notice is this steering wheel did move closer to the dash, and you can see the turn stock. So this is pretty close to my finger here, but nothing terrible. I still think I'm gonna like it a lot. The other thing that you can get on eBay, and there's plenty of them out there, are shift knobs. I purchased this one. This one's brand new, all original BMW, and I think this one's gonna look better. Correct me if I'm wrong, you BMW aficionados will know. I think this is from an E46 M car. I think maybe or not, because I know the original one was a little bit taller and doesn't have this chrome ring. And you can see I did plasti dip this and dropped it in, and the black contrasts well in here. I'm not so sure. Maybe I should have gotten a black leather shift boot to kind of make this all black. But for now, we're gonna leave it. I'm gonna push this down. Look at, oh, it's locked in place, DP. And man, that, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's got a lot of different contrasts going on, so I certainly do like it. The last thing what we are gonna do now is do a bit of a cleanup on this interior, because it is fully filled.
These seats are in rough shape, but we had to stop the music and give you an update here, because this Sonex leather foam smells incredible. It's got like this rich leather smell to it. So even though we're dealing with like 30-year-old cracked, dried out leather, that's disgustingly dirty and does not smell good, as soon as you put this Sonax stuff on it, you feel like you're being wrapped in Corinthian leather, and you know, Fernando Lamas is reading Spanish poetry to you because, man, it just smells so good. It makes you feel 10 years younger. So
Tricks your mind.
It does. It's psychological. Whoever designed the smell of this at Sonax is a genius. So well played, Sonax. Well played.
So the interior is certainly looking much better and smelling fresher. It's still just so bad. Case in point, this patch job here on the bolster, terrible. I would have to get this entire seat reupholstered because I can't imagine if I take it to a leather shop or a repair shop, they're gonna be able to do just this piece and match it properly to this. So then it turns into, well, you gotta do the whole seat. But if you're doing this seat, then you should probably do that seat. Then you should do the rear. And at that point, I might as well just do the whole interior. So I actually do have something in the works. I may be getting a M5 black interior. So I've got my fingers crossed that may come in a future episode if it does happen, because that would be a huge savior because it'll just replace so much of the nastiness that is in here. Another common issue that you may run into with one of these cars is your door may not open. Magically one day you'll come out and you'll unlock or lock your door, and then you go like this, and this door opens, but this one doesn't. Why? And I suspect that is an actuator. I actually had this problem on my E39 BMW, and it was a door actuator. The struggle here is we have a door card and I really don't want to ruin it. And of course, this is quite the problem to get this off with the door closed. You can see I'm yanking on the door card. There's like clips along here that have to be popped. I'm at the point now where I'm just gonna pull the molding trim off of here, which I think will give me just enough room, and I might be able to come in
and pop it, yeah.
And pop it this way, but man, it's still, like, and you can see, even yanking on this, like, does nothing. Trying to pull up or down on this, it's like it's dead bolted itself on here somehow. And this has escalated very quickly. You can see I have part of the top off here, and using a pry bar, I've been able to like get down and into the corners here and pop a lot of the clips that will be holding the side of the door card on here. So at this point, yes, I think we've done it. And here is our culprit. This is our door actuator that seems to be seized in the lock position. And I've tried prying and doing a couple of things which is not working. So I've got these new heavy duty Milwaukee pliers, which claim to be, you know, rugged and tough for things like this. So let's see if I can just crack this old metal. There we go, there's one piece. And Milwaukee's always got the really good products. There it goes. All right, so now, there it is. I think that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
Simple as that, people. And by simple, I mean extremely complicated. Look at that. It's working. But you know what isn't working? This side is stuck open. Look, I locked the car and the door still opens. It's jammed. Look at this. I don't think I could write a better script than the one side being broken in the closed position and this side being broken in the up position. And of course, what I didn't do though is I didn't order two actuators. So I'm going to have to order a new actuator and get to this at a later date. At least this door opens. Fire this thing up. Andy, Pete, the ship just so much nicer. Wow. I can't do it. I can't drive this thing in the rain, guys.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It snowed here a couple days ago, believe it or not. Yes, it's April and it still snows here. And I think they salted the roads. It's raining. That just means this car is, potentially going to get, all those new parts are going to get saltified. And you just did this great cleanup on it. I know it's such a cop-out. I know it's a fail, but I can't do it. I can't. Well, that is a bit of a disappointment, but we will bring you a test drive very soon in the next episode, and it's going to be an improved one because I do have some new parts that have arrived. This is a camber and caster adjustment for the front suspension from K-Mac, and this is going to improve, as you can see, a much needed caster adjustment. And of course, we will be able to make a camber adjustment on that. And a really, really special thing is coming. I do have a brand new used interior, which I will show you. And it is extremely rare and extremely cool. So you will have to stay tuned for the next one.